So this is a bridge over the Team, the River Team. We're probably about a mile from the confluence of the Team and the Severn, and the area. There's the river. It's a lovely little bridge. Lovely little bridge with all these little bits, and that's flowing south down to the Severn, where we will come out in a minute, where Dylan goes for a swim. But this is the old electricity building, which has now been converted into apartments, and yeah, we just love it. Looks great, eh? Especially on a day like today, and when I'm not making a noise, you can hear the birds. And now we've come over here because we had to go to the vets to sign him off for his stitches. They want to see him once more. There he is. There he is, framed through there. You might be able to hear the river. You can certainly hear the crows. And there's himself. That's the River Team. And Dylan is off his lead with no cone. I'm very excited, with a very, very waggy tail.
He's got a stick.
And he's got a stick. So we've just come from the vets, and we're taking the long walk round away from the road. Takes us back to the confluence of the Team and the Severn, where you've seen Dylan regularly goes for a swim, and he hasn't done that for ages, but I think today he might. What is it? It's Tuesday, and I don't know if that's the 7th or the 8th or what of September, and it's beautiful. It's going to be a warm day. Somebody said it'll hit 29 today, which is warm for us in the UK. We occasionally exceed 30, but not very often. And there was a low dew point last night because we've got our sandals on and the ground is wet. You might see the grass glistening. Beautiful late summer day in the heart of England. There's the corner of the corn.
Those for the barbecue. Oh, we might have a good notice from corn fritters you saw on the television the other day.
That's it, Jill. Go on then. Yep. His paws up. He's pointing. Go on then. There. And that's his reward. And I hope I can stay upright. Picking up sticks on my way down for him. We need sticks now. Sounds like an old two-stroke coming up. Isn't that great timing? coming down, Donna? Morning. Doesn't that sound lovely? Yes, yes, yes. There he is. There's the corn that we saw being planted back in May. And some of this is 7 and 8 foot tall. So, I don't know where that puts us, but that's a fast growing plant. May, June, July, August. 4 months. So it's growing 2 foot a month, 60 centimetres a month.
Hello and welcome to this week's vlog. It's been a while since we've had a look at the job board, so I'll just give you an update. We've been cracking on and doing lots of little jobs before we've been able to start with the kitchen really. So now that we're well into September and the weather is not going to be so great, we're going to move the we're going to take this one off the current job list. We've not really achieved as much as we'd hoped, but we're going to do the painting for the roof and the external sides of the boat sometime next year. What we have done is finally we've come to the decision that we really wanted the boat to be blue, so we are now going to do blue rather than the green.
And we would like to thank Lyndon at Symphony Paints, I think it's somewhere in the Midlands, who very graciously said they'll take back the 2 tins of green that we've bought, and not only just take back, but they'll deliver 2 tins of Oxford Blue and 2 tins of Regal Cream, I think it is.
I think it was Regal Cream.
And they'll come and collect, so we don't have to pay the return postage for the 2 tins of green. Still all boxed up, but
they've been really good actually. They've been
yeah,
really because
yeah.
we have kept changing our mind, but we're actually going to go with blue now. Martin's mystery job is being revealed in this week's episode. So yeah, so that's going to be moved over to there. So I can now cross that one off, and I can cross that one off. Oh, inside the boat I've painted in the bedroom, the walls and the ceiling, and I've done all that I'm going to do inside the boat. The rest will come after when we finish the kitchen and that, so that can go off. The log burner, at some point I'm going to paint that black, and we're also going to paint the chimney black, but we'll do that at some point, so I'll leave that on there. The stern and the bow, we obviously we wanted to have a look at the cleats because they needed changing over, and you'll see some of that in this week's episode. So we've done that on the bow, and we've just made sure everything's coated with red oxide so that protects it until next year when we can crack on with the painting. Oh, there's Martin's phone. Someone's really keen to get hold of him. We keep missing it. The engine bay, we've pretty much, well, we were just going to heat the heating system. We just need to bleed the system in there, and there's not much going on there. Kitchen, we really now that we've done the bedroom, completed that, so that can all come off. We need to crack on with the kitchen now because the second half of the delivery arrives at the back end of next week, so we are actually running out of time, but we have got on and done lots of little fiddly jobs and got them all out of the way. So the kitchen's going to go in earnest over the next few days. We need to source some worktop. We're going to go with oak, but we don't want it to be really thick oak, so we're going to just investigate that a bit more. But apart from that, that's where we are. So yeah, if you've watched the videos and you've enjoyed them, press the like us button. It would be really helpful if you could subscribe to watching future episodes. And if you press the bell button, you'll obviously get notifications of every video that comes out. Keep your comments coming and your ideas, your suggestions, and we love to read all of those. Follow us on Instagram at Life Afloat on a Narrowboat, and there is our website at www.nomadplan.co.uk. Yeah, enjoy the video and...
Right, you on these? So these been on the boat since it was built, I think. And that one should be there, and that one should be here. So we're going to swap them over. Tricky bit. They're screwed, bolted.
Hello and welcome back to Donna's Dinners. So for today's dinner I pre-marinated 1 kilogram of cleats in some tomato ketchup. So that's been happily marinating overnight. And let's have a look. It's a bit messy. There we go. Stick that on there. Give it a little wipe over. It's going to be quite a tasty little number, this. Hopefully some of the yucky...
They don't look any cleaner to me.
No, I don't know if it's worked actually. Just run it under a tap. Then we rinse off.
Maybe you should have added garlic. Or lemon juice. Just work with one for now. Because perhaps they can go back in the bag. Maybe they need longer. Is it tenderised?
Change colour. So the idea was, by soaking them, we would get some of the outer stuff off, because I tried some brasso yesterday and it just wasn't moving.
Try a pillow pad.
We've got, I just need to grab one over, we've got a Brillo pad. I mean, I don't really know what to expect. So just a gentle rub over with this. They might need another soaking, but ketchup seems to have... So that's what they were like. It was all covered in this colour. It was like a, I don't know what it was. It was almost like a lacquer maybe on it. The ketchup's turned it a pinky colour. And then you can you see that?
Yeah, they've gone from what looked like brass cleats with an aged patina to a gaudy formica.
It was a bit like...
Go on,
sure
it is
how it was going to work.
working. Do you want to take it outside in the sunshine?
Should I just do the brasso on that, or should I use this?
I think you should use that a bit more. It's coming off, isn't it?
I just don't want to rub too hard because I don't want scratches on it. But, so this was a tip that we got from next door, in the boat next door. We saw them, well actually they've gone out for a sail today, for a cruise. Lynn, she said,
she's a very good. She's a very good cook as well.
So try and get this bit of paint off around the side as well. Beautiful day. So I think where the bottom's worked quite well, the top hasn't because the ketchup's run off, so I need to perhaps re-soak it, but it has come up. Can you see that? This is what the cleats looked like before marinating in ketchup.
Ooh.
Quite nasty. And after being soaked in ketchup overnight and then having a polish, come up all shiny. I'm really pleased with how they've come up. Look at the difference. Oops.
And
Look at that.
more importantly,
Look.
they match your toenails.
Oh, very funny. So,
It's very good. These the lights have arrived, and luckily most of them fit where the existing lights are. We might buy some more of these once I've tried it. We just bought a set of 6 to see how they go, and if they're alright, we might get the rest of them for the lounge area, for the saloon and the salon and the dinette and whatever else. But I need a 52mm hole cutter, and I've promised I will have all the bedroom finished this afternoon, so I'm just off to get a hole cutter so I can fit these lights and get on with doing the rest of the lights in the bedroom. So there.
look at that. I'm going to get on with polishing this one up. No, I'm so hot, I'm not sure how much of that wire brushing I'm going to do. This is just really hot out there. Really hot. And the boat is hot, being black as well.
Hot. Yeah, it's hot.
So I don't want to overdo it now, do I?
No. Our kitchen has arrived, or half our kitchen, so we are going to replace this bit of our kitchen. We have these boxes here, and these boxes here, and they're the kickboards, and there's some fittings there, and this is more of it here, and here, so they're the doors. But what we won't do is start another job until we finish the first job. So that's why I'm going to go and get the hole cutters now, and then crack on. And I suppose it is really, really hot. So we'll start taking this kitchen out tomorrow.
Oh, it's really gloomy, raining out there, so we've chosen a really good day to start on the kitchen. So we put a message out asking if anybody wanted the old kitchen units before we got rid of them, and we had a message come through saying that somebody would like them. So Chris turned up. What's his name?
Chris.
Chris.
We hadn't sussed out that we knew him.
Yeah, he's turned up, and it turns out that we knew him from when we were moored over at
Droitwich Spa.
Droitwich
Well,
Spa.
at Hanbury. He lives at Hanbury.
And he needed a lift to get here, so he turned up, and I was walking back and I thought I recognise that person, but dismissed it because there was no way he was going to be here. Why would he be here? But it turned out to be Vince. And Vince we met when we first bought the boat at Hanbury Wharf.
He wasn't just Vince, it's St. Vince.
And we've renamed him St. Vince because he took us to Droitwich Spa for the first time in the boat, and that's when we lost use of the propeller.
Yeah, the propeller was disengaged. Oh yes, Chris, no, behind you.
So anyway, we are dismantling these units, and Chris is now going to have them for his boat, and we underneath it's got some ballast there.
But it's a nice
bricks.
surprise to have some familiar faces.
Yeah, it was lovely.
We'd put a message out on the Digglers Facebook page, and luckily Chris was on there and he saw it. So it just goes to show you what a small community it is. It's nice.
And they're just loading the van up with stuff now. And it's pouring, it's just literally started to rain as we put the stuff out. So
Oh, they're outside.
Yeah.
Call them in. Have their tea.
Oh, we've got one more to take. This is Chris. Hello, Chris. And this is Vince. Yeah. Come and drink your tea. Hi, Tom. Get out of the way.
I managed to get all the side bits in anyway.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah. It's typical that it starts to pour down when you don't want to get everything wet.
Dylan.
So, anyway, that was a really lovely surprise. I need to get out of the way now.
We moved the kitchen units over because we were listing so much. So I'm working tomorrow and Monday, and Donna's going to help out on Sunday. So I'll make a clean run at it on Sunday and start in the kitchen then. The units are far enough down there that I can pick them out and assemble them over there and then put them into situ here, and once we've done that we can move everything back into their places. And it's tricky I tell you. It's tricky trying to live in amongst it all. It was tricky when we lived in a cottage. It's even more so now. But there we are, it's all good.
Hi. I'm sanding down where the cleats came off because it's really rusty underneath. So I used the wire brush on the drill to loosen the flaky bits. Now I'm just sanding it down. And then I will treat it with the rust inhibitor. And then I'll put some red oxide over that. And then when that's dry, we'll put the cleats on back, cleats back on. You know, we'll have to take them off when we paint, but at least it'll give it a layer of protection, and it gets the cleats put back where they live.
Yeah, they'll go back on the right way around, and they're cleaned up and they'll look nice, and we can rope it off.
So
Harden the lines, so to speak, and put them in nice and tight. And it probably won't be done until after the winter is. Donna rightly points out that we open a tin of paint, we've got to use it when we open it. It's so expensive. We put the lid back on it and the skin off it. It's just not worth the aggro. So we'll get it all buffed up. But this is a little job we wanted to do for ages. It still took us a while. I say a little job. It's still taking a few hours. But there we are. We're just getting lots of little jobs out of the way before we start on the kitchen. So, action. Cleats are back on, so hopefully you see a change in them, and they're now in the right position. And yeah, very nice. They look very nice.
back to your secret project. So
I don't know if this is a project or a saga. It's just going on forever.
Somebody mentioned that we could be putting up a pole dancing pole
For Donna.
for all the parties that we might be throwing. And somebody
Which
else
actually isn't
mentioned
true.
a washing line, which could be handy. So what is it going to be, Martin?
Not at liberty. Not at liberty to tell you at the moment. Dylan, watch out now. So we've lost a bit. Not long after we first took possession of this boat, I had to bang a hole in the side. Well, I tried to drill it with one of these. I needed to put a vent in the back of the engine to give some cross flow of air, because we only had one vent and we needed one on both sides. And it was a couple of inches above the water line, whilst it was in the water, and I was on the pontoon at Droitwich. And it wasn't something I enjoyed doing, punching a hole in my boat just above the water line. But in the end I had to give up with the hole cutter because it burnt out. So I had to get a chisel and take a chisel to it steel chisel and a lump hammer and punch a hole in it, and I managed to get 3 edges and a pair of pipe clips on it, and wiggled it back and forth until it snapped, and it was red hot, but it snapped off.
I must have been out shopping because I didn't know you did that.
Yeah, you saw it. It was where the boat was put moored up. It was just by the end of the pontoon, and we used to go in through the back of the boat.
I
Anyway.
remember you doing something there, but I don't remember you hammering away at anything.
Yeah, maybe I did it when you weren't. The sort of job I would have got as an apprentice electrician. They'd say, oh, you can do that. And you'd spend half the day trying to drill through some bloody steel reinforced foundations or something.
I'm surprised you haven't given me that job then. I'm your little apprentice.
Well, actually,
No,
you've mentioned it.
thank you. I'm really busy.
Are you ready for a gin and tonic?
Oh, all the time. Oh, I never said all the time, did I really?
Somewhere in the world,
It's
gone
after
5
5
o'clock.
o'clock.
I'm not going to say how to wipe this grease. Can I wipe it on this tennis ball?
Not really. Shall I go and get you a cloth?
I'll wipe it on his lead.
No, I'll go and get you a cloth.
I'll wipe it on the under. Okay, so ordinarily when you look at the specifications on a boat, they'll refer to the steel as being 10654 or something similar to that. 10 being the thickness of the hull, 6 being the thickness of the walls, and generally 5 is the thickness for the roof. But this is Town Mill, and I've been at it an awful long time. As my carbide bit, we're using the stern ground grease for as a cutting compound and keeping the bit as cool as possible. But even the drill itself, the motor is getting hot. So after much drilling, we now have this hole, which I've added the hose to, and then we have 2 more holes, so there, and finally there's one there. Yeah, reminds me of the first date. Sorry.
Do you remember that part?
It were only 4 years ago.
Still, long time.
It was memorable.
It rained.
Put some on there. Hey, hang on, this is all on video. You knew that. You set us up then. She set us up then.
Set you up. Oh, lovely. Thank you. That's Irene. Thank you.
There was cousin Nick then. Just a hand came up from in there.
Nah.
Look.
Oh, come on, the skin's formed and I'm trying to avoid the skin. It will need more sanding on it, but
Oh yeah, as long as it's sealed to the elements, that's all that matters.
see that.
And you got that one in there, and I'll get this.
So, mystery job, Martin.
Yeah, Simon is in his rightful place. Yes, Hazelnut Telecoms has been relocated, and the mystery job, well, the game is up now. So the mystery job was to relocate our Wi-Fi antenna, and externally and internally, just to make it a better job. So by raising it up, it will improve our signal in the area. It gives us a cleaner line on the roof. The cables are now inside our wardrobe rail. Yeah, it makes a smarter job, but obviously it makes it more efficient. So we've brought everything in here now. That's our that was our piece of hose which is supporting that. It just happened to be the right size. I did away with the brackets because they were protruding and nuts and it just looked a bit scruffy, so I replaced it with a couple of coach bolts. And if I can get in here, and you might need to lean down a bit.
Oh, I'm in ease.
So the antenna cable comes down now and into the box, which then goes through the wall and inside the boat. And underneath this box here, we have a battery for our bow thruster. So it's not just a seat, it's got a bit more to it. But it's the battery housing for the bow thruster. So we've tapped off that with a couple of 2.5 stranded cables, which are now tucked up in the trunking, and they go into this box as well. So they're now the power source for the antenna. It's a very low current and it doesn't draw much. There's also a second pair that goes up in this box, which then goes in here, comes across here. I haven't finished with this one yet. This will go up here, and this will feed our well deck light. It's well, it's a bit bright, but it's currently being fed a different way, but I wanted to give it an independent feed. Obviously this will all be painted in, and like with this trunking here, once it's painted in, we'll paint everything in the cream, and things should be less visible, so it should be a good job.
Cracking.
Anyway, I hope you like it. We'll show you the inside now. Okay, so yeah, the hole from outside comes in here, the trunking's here. This is not the weatherproof side, but this is the internal piece of cable, so there's a connection up in here for the antenna, and our 12 volt feed goes into the USB ports. We've got 2 ports there, so should we want to run charge a mobile, we just stick our mobile up there as well, and that's currently enough to feed our router. So it makes for a tidier job. That's all that up there, and by using the 12 volt it's a much more efficient system than going via the 240 and through the inverter, which is a heavy consumer. And you know, the object of the exercise is to get everything down as much as possible and leave a smaller footprint. And of course the cables were coming through here, so we don't any longer have that hanging up there. We do have currently a 240 extension lead, which we're using to run the to charge the laptop. Unfortunately that won't work off 12 volt, it needs a bigger current, and but our plans are there. I'm going to bring a cable in the back there and probably locate that somewhere like that, so we can do away with this mess here. And I meant to get the right one. This is a single gang light switch, but we have a couple of triples around here, so three gang light switch, 2-way light switches. So this will be mounted up here, and instead of using these switches, which we currently use, the doll's house switches for want of a better word, we will have this. I'll bring a cable in through here and down there and along here, and we'll have a nice flush fitting switch on here with, as I say, a 3-gang switch. So one will be for this area, the lounge area, one for the kitchen area, and then one for the dinette. And similarly there'll be a secondary switch down near the bathroom so that we can operate all 3 circuits from either end of the boat.